May 11th, 1945. 4:47 a.m. A quiet tent camp near Dinglan Bay, Luzon, Philippines. The jungle is still dark, heavy with humidity and the distant rumble of artillery. Private John R. McKinney, a 24-year-old soldier from Woodcliff, Georgia, sleeps lightly in his pub tent after days of patrol. His M1 Garand rifle rests beside him, bayonet fixed. Without warning, the canvas rips open. A Japanese sergeant lunges inside, sword flashing in the faint moonlight. The blade strikes downward, not a clean decapitation, but a brutal slash across the side of McKinney's head. Part of his right ear is severed. Blood pours instantly warm and thick. Pain explodes through his skull. The sergeant raises the sword again for the killing blow. McKinney does not scream. He does not freeze. He grabs his M1 Garand by the barrel and swings it like a club. The steel but plate smashes into the sergeant's face. Bone cracks. The Japanese soldier collapses dead inside the tent. Outside, the night erupts. Approximately 100 Japanese soldiers, part of a large infiltration force aiming to disrupt American lines, swarm the camp. Rifles crack, grenades burst, bayonets gleam. McKinney, bleeding heavily from his wounded head, blood streaming down his neck and soaking his shirt, staggers out. His ear hangs partially detached, the ringing in his head deafening. What happens next defies reason. In the next 36 minutes, one wounded private, armed with rifle, automatic weapon, pistol, and grenades, fights alone against waves of attackers. When the firing finally stops, 41 Japanese soldiers lie dead around his position. McKinney stands amid the ballast, bloodied but alive, having turned a near-fatal ambush into a one-man slaughter. How does a man, half-blinded by his own blood, with part of his ear cut off, kill 41 enemies in half an hour? This is the shocking reality of a single soldier's rage, skill, and refusal to die. A moment where pain became fuel and survival became legend. To understand the gravity of this event, consider the Pacific War in mid-1945. The Philippines Campaign, launched after the return of General Douglas MacArthur's forces in October 1944, aimed to liberate the islands from Japanese occupation and secure bases for the final push toward Japan. Luzon, the largest island, saw intense fighting from January onward. Japanese forces, under General Tomoyuki Yamashita, retreated into mountainous and jungle terrain, conducting guerrilla-style defenses, infiltrations, and suicide attacks. Rather than open battles, by May 1945, elements of the U.S. 33rd Infantry Division were operating in northern Luzon, securing coastal areas like Dinglan Bay to prevent Japanese reinforcements and disrupt supply lines. The 123rd Infantry Regiment faced scattered but determined resistance. Small units infiltrating American perimeters at night, aiming to cause chaos, kill sentries, and escape. Private John R. McKinney, a farm boy from rural Georgia, had enlisted in 1942. He was known as a quiet, Reliable soldier, a skilled marksman from years of hunting deer in the Georgia woods. His unit had fought through the grueling recapture of Manila and then pushed north. The night of May 10th to 11th was supposed to be rest. Many men slept in tents without full perimeter security, trusting in outposts. The Japanese attack was part of a broader pattern. Desperate attempts to bleed American strength before the inevitable end. Infiltrators often used darkness, surprise, and close-quarters weapons like swords, bayonets, and grenades. The sword strike on McKinney was not uncommon. Japanese non-commissioned officers carried military swords for such raids. The event mattered because it occurred during a phase where small unit actions could still disrupt larger operations. A successful infiltration might overrun a company outpost, kill dozens, and force redeployments. McKinney's stand prevented that. His position was isolated. Most of his comrades were nearby tents or on guard elsewhere, leaving him to face the initial wave alone until reinforcements arrived later. The weapons involved reflected standard issue. The M1 Garand, a semi-automatic .3006 rifle with an 8-round end-block clip, prized for its accuracy and rate of fire. The Browning automatic rifle bar, a .3006 squad automatic weapon with 20-round magazines. The M1911 .45 pistol, and Mk2 fragmentation grenades. Japanese forces used Arasaka rifles, Type 99 light machine guns, grenades, and bayonets. Swords in close combat. McKinney's actions were later recognized with the Medal of Honor, one of many awarded for individual valor in the Philippines. The citation details how, despite severe head wounds, he fought continuously for 36 minutes, killing 41 enemy soldiers and repelling the assault. It highlights the chaos, grenades exploding nearby, bullets whipping past, bodies piling up. This incident underscores the brutal, personal nature of Pacific fighting. No large-scale maneuvers, but sudden, savage encounters where one man's response could decide survival for many. May 11th, 1945, 4:47 a.m. Forward camp near Dinglan Bay, Luzon, Philippines. The jungle presses close, thick with the smell of wet earth and rotting vegetation. Private John R. McKinney lies on his cot inside a 2-man pup tent, boots off M1 Garand beside him, bayonet fixed, loaded with an 8-round end-block clip. His BAR Browning automatic rifle leans against the tent pole, 20-round magazine inserted. A .45 pistol rests in its holster nearby. 2 Mk2 fragmentation grenades hang from his web belt. The canvas splits with a sharp rip. A Japanese sergeant ducks inside, Shinguntu sword raised. The blade flashes down in a single, vicious arc. It catches McKinney across the right side of his head, slicing through scalp, partially severing his ear, and gouging deep into the flesh above his jaw. Blood floods instantly, hot and blinding, pouring into his right eye. Pain sears through his skull like fire. The sergeant raises the sword again for the finishing stroke. McKinney reacts without thought. His left hand snaps out, grabs the M1 Garand by the barrel, and swings it upward like a baseball bat. The steel butt plate smashes into the sergeant's face with a wet crunch. Teeth shatter, nose collapses. The Japanese soldier drops dead across the torn tent flap, sword clattering beside him. Outside, the night explodes. Approximately 100 Japanese infiltrators, elite troops armed with Arasaka rifles, Type 99 light machine guns, grenades, and bayonets, swarm the perimeter. They had crept through the jungle in silence, avoiding outposts, aiming to overrun the camp and kill as many sleeping Americans as possible. Rifles crack, grenades burst in bright flashes, bayonets thrust into tents. McKinney staggers out of his collapsed tent, blood streaming down his face and neck, soaking his shirt. His right ear hangs by a flap of skin, useless, the side of his head a raw wound. Vision blurs in one eye. He does not pause to bandage. He scoops up his M1 Garand, levels it, and fires. The first Japanese soldier rushing the tent line crumples. .3006 round through the chest. McKinney works the action. Fires again. Another falls. He moves toward his bar, grabs it, slings it across his body. The heavier weapon bucks as he opens fire in long bursts. Tracers arc into the darkness, cutting down 3 attackers closing from the left. Grenades land nearby, one explodes 10 feet away, shrapnel tearing into his leg and arm. But he keeps moving. He drops the bar for a moment, pulls a grenade from his belt, yanks the pin with his teeth, and hurls it into a group of 5 Japanese advancing in a wedge. The blast scatters them limbs and screams. The fight becomes a blur of motion. McKinney fights alone. Most of his platoon is scattered or still waking. Some cut down in their sleep. He falls back toward a shallow depression, using felled logs and tent debris for cover. Japanese soldiers press in from 3 sides. He switches back to the M1 Garand. Faster, more accurate at range. He fires standing, kneeling, prone. Each shot deliberate about his pehla. When the end block clip pings out, he reloads in seconds, muscle memory overriding pain. A Japanese squad tries to flank him with a light machine gun. McKinney spots the muzzle flash, grabs the bar again, and rakes the position with sustained fire. The gunner slumps. The assistant loader tries to drag the weapon away. McKinney drops him with a single aimed shot. Another grenade lands close. Shrapnel peppers his back. He rolls, comes up, firing. For 36 minutes he fights without pause. He uses every weapon at hand. M1 Garand, 4 precision kills. Bar 4 suppressing groups. Pistol for anything that gets within 10 feet. Grenades to break clusters. When ammunition runs low on one weapon, he switches. When a bayonet-wielding soldier lunges, McKinney parries with the rifle barrel, drives the bayonet home, then finishes with the pistol. By the time reinforcements arrive, dawn light filtering through the trees, the assault is broken. Japanese dead lie in heaps around McKinney's position. 41 bodies are counted in the immediate area. Many show multiple wounds, evidence of the relentless fire. McKinney stands amid the carnage, blood-soaked, ear dangling, leg and arm torn by shrapnel, but still on his feet. His weapons are empty, or near empty. The surviving Japanese have withdrawn into the jungle. He collapses only after the first medics reach him. Builds across those 36 minutes of unrelenting violence. The Japanese infiltration party, expecting easy kills among sleeping Americans, meets instead a single man who refuses to fall. McKinney, head wound, bleeding profusely, half his vision gone, uses the terrain and his weapons with deadly efficiency. He never retreats far, always falling back just enough to maintain fire superiority. A critical moment comes when a group of 10 Japanese soldiers charges in a coordinated rush, bayonets fixed, shouting. McKinney, behind partial cover, opens with a bar-long burst, sweeps left to right. 5 drop instantly. The remaining 5 scatter. He picks them off with the M1 Garand as they try to regroup. Another wave attempts to encircle him. He lobs his last grenade, then switches to pistol as they close. Point-blank shots, drop 3 more. His body screams. Blood loss weakens him. Shrapnel wounds burn, but adrenaline and training keep him moving. He reloads under fire, changes positions, uses fallen bodies as obstacles. The Japanese, expecting panic, find only lethal response. Their momentum breaks as losses mount. When the 36 minutes end, the attack collapses. 41 Japanese lie dead within yards of McKinney's improvised stand. Some shot cleanly through the head or chest, others torn by bar, fire, or grenade fragments. To rest, flee. The infiltration attempt shattered. Reinforcements from the 123rd Infantry arrive at first light. They find McKinney slumped against a log, weapons empty, body a map of wounds. Medics rush forward. He is carried to an aid station. Ear hastily bandaged. Shrapnel removed. Blood transfusions started. He survives, though scarred for life. The action is documented by witnesses who arrived after the fight. Bodies counted, weapons collected, positions mapped. McKinney's stand alone prevented the camp from being overrun. Casualties among his platoon are kept low because the Japanese focused on his position. For his actions, John R. McKinney is awarded the Medal of Honor. The citation states he single-handedly killed 41 enemy soldiers, despite severe wounds to the head and other parts of the body. It notes the 36-minute duration and the use of multiple weapons. The lesson is raw. In the chaos of a night attack, one determined soldier can turn the tide. Skilled with weapons, refusal to quit, and the ability to fight through pain can outweigh numbers. McKinney did not win by strategy alone. He won by sheer, sustained violence of action. The enemy paid dearly for underestimating a wounded man who would not die quietly. Private John R. McKinney's stand ended as dawn broke over the jungle, clearing near Dinglin Bay on May 11, 1945. The ground around his position was littered with 41 Japanese soldiers. Bodies sprawled in unnatural angles, rifles dropped, grenades unfused. Blood had soaked into the earth, mixing with spent brass casings and torn canvas from shredded tents. McKinney stood for a moment longer, weapons empty, chest heaving, blood still trickling from the partially severed ear and the raw gash across his head. His shirt clung wet to his skin, torn by shrapnel, his leg and arm bleeding from grenade fragments. Only when the first voices of his platoon called out did he finally lower his arms. Medics reached him quickly. They cut away the ruined ear flap, applied pressure bandages, cleaned shrapnel wounds, and gave him plasma to replace what he had lost. He was carried to an aid station, then evacuated to a field hospital. Surgeons worked to save what remained of his hearing on that side and to close the deep cuts. He survived, scarred, changed, but alive. The official count came later. 41 enemy dead in the area he had defended alone. Witnesses, soldiers who arrived after the firing stopped, walked the ground, counted the bodies, noted the weapons scattered around him. The Medal of Honor citation would later record it plainly. Despite severe wounds to the head and other parts of the body, he fought on for 36 minutes, killing 41 of the enemy. No exaggeration, no embellishment. Just the facts of a night when one man held the line. McKinney returned to duty after recovery, finished the war in the Philippines, and eventually went home to Georgia. He lived quietly for many years, rarely speaking of that morning unless pressed. When he did, it was without pride or drama, simply the memory of a sword flashing in the dark, a rifle swung like a club, and the need to keep firing until there was no one left to shoot. His name appears now in unit histories of the 33rd Infantry Division, in books on the Luzon campaign, and on the wall of recipients of the Medal of Honor. He rests in a cemetery in his home state, among others who served and came back, or served and did not. The story lingers not because it changed the outcome of the war. The Philippines were already being won, but because it shows what is possible when pain meets determination. In war, most fights are shared. Most victories belong to squads, platoons, companies. But every so often, one person stands alone in the gap. McKinney did not ask for the role. He did not choose the sword that cut him. He only chose to keep fighting with every weapon he had. For every minute he could, 41 lives ended in those 36 minutes. One life continued. That is the measure of it. Not glory, not vengeance, but the raw fact that he was still standing when the sun rose. I've just said what's recorded in history. You should find out the real truth yourself. We have written the sources from which we got this story in the description of this video, and we have always been and will be supporters of the oppressed, regardless of their color, race, or country. This world and its creator are also with the oppressed. If this story of one man's unbreakable stand left you speechless, drop a like. Tell us in the comments, could you have kept fighting? And subscribe for more forgotten World War II stories that hit hard. Hit the bell so you never miss the next WW2 story.